All right, hey everybody, this is the Frederick Review here, and today we are with Sue Shepard. She's a stylist and owner of the Style Me Sue Consignment. Sue, I'm just going to turn it over to you. Why don't you give yourself a more thorough introduction and tell us a bit more about your business?
Actually, you did really well, Colin. I appreciate that. I am a stylist, and about 4 years ago, I started very part-time in the business. And 2.5 years ago, I opened a consignment store in Damascus, and it's a kind of, I like to call it a middle of the road consignment store. It's not a thrift store, and it's not a high-end, ladies only consignment store, and it's just worked out really well. All women have things in our closets that are too good, too nice to go directly to donation, and so that's where I come in.
Okay, so you said you got into it 4 years ago, but 2.5 years ago is when you kind of got this going, like on the ground, correct?
Correct. Before that, before I had the store, I would go into people's homes and help them put outfits together, find their personal style, that type of thing.
So is that kind of what made you want to start to get into it? Is that part of that going into people's homes and all that? Would that kind of drive you, or was there something even before that that made you want to kind of get into all this?
To get into styling or get into the store?
The store.
The store, I wanted to have a store. I wanted to have this store particularly. The number one reason was I wanted to bring retail to Damascus. If you have been to Damascus, there's very little,
Right.
really no retail in Damascus. And I wanted to change that. And so, being a stylist, I would go to people's homes and help them with their styling needs. And when I would do multiple trips, I would always seem to find that box or bag that I would share with them. I would say, take this to a consignment store. And when I would go to the second or third time to their home, that box would still be there.
Right.
And they wouldn't want to venture to a consignment store.
Right.
So I saw the need for a consignment store. That coupled with needing retail in Damascus, it just made sense.
All
Because
right.
I live in Damascus and I've been here for almost 30 years.
Cool. That's I mean, good reason. It's
And
interesting that you were kind of in it
I wouldn't
beforehand.
store anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you were kind of doing it impromptu, kind of on your own, kind of going through people's homes before you even had a place. I wouldn't have expected that. So I think I kind of already maybe know part of the answer to this, but what sets your business apart from others?
Um, it's because I'm a stylist. I think that is the,
Oh,
my passion, and notion. People can come in here, they find really nice, middle of the road, not too high end, not low end, very affordable prices, but yet I can help them put really nice outfits together at a very reasonable price. And we have a different atmosphere too. It's very, well, you probably too young to remember Mayberry RFC, but people equate us to Mayberry, that kind of thing. It's very much going home. It's very much coming in, almost like you walk in, you feel like you should have a cup of coffee in your hand.
I don't know what Mayberry is, but I'm sure whoever's viewing this does, so the point stands nonetheless. Um, so if you could go back, whether it be 2.5 years ago when you were getting your business off the ground, or maybe even further, what's something that you would, some advice that you give yourself that maybe you'd do differently?
You know, um, I thought about this question a little bit, and ultimately, I don't think I would do anything differently. I know that sounds silly because
No, no, it's not.
you always end up where you're supposed to be. I've always
Right.
taken that philosophy in my day-to-day life. But really, you always should have more money in the bank. Because if you have more money in the bank when you start a business, and that makes everything a lot easier. But that would be the number one thing, and I would probably find more help. We don't. I'm a one-man band. I still can't really afford anybody to be on a payroll, so it makes it very difficult. I have wonderful people that come in and volunteer to help me. If I didn't have them, I couldn't make this a reality. It's very hard. There's not enough hours in the day. So if I
Right.
didn't have my volunteers, and then I have one intern from the high school, from Damascus High School, that comes in, and that's new as of this school year. So if I had more money, that would certainly be. But I literally started looking for space, retail space, in June, and I basically went home one day and told my husband I was quitting my job. I was working part-time and still building my styling business. And I went home one day and said to my husband that I was quitting my job. And I decided within about 10 days to have a store. So this was not a lifelong dream. We
Right.
didn't have to in the bank. So having more capital is really the key.
You just kind of took the plunge.
Yeah.
So what's the, or well, yeah. So what's your favorite thing about what you've been doing, owning your business? What do you enjoy the most?
The people. I'm definitely a people person, and it's always the relationships. People think when you own your own business, you have all this freedom.
Right.
That's never true. You really don't, because you're really tied to your store.
Right.
But it's the people, it's the relationships you build, the experiences you make. I love clothes. I always have. I love putting outfits together, but I really love um, how people come back to me and say, um, I could never have afforded this. I could have never put this outfit together. Um, you helping me look better than I've looked ever. I love that. I
Right.
genuinely, truly love that.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I a lot of the a lot of the kind of interviews that I've done with people that kind of do a lot of personal things have kind of come back with answers similar to that. So yeah, I totally get it. That's really cool. You kind of alluded to it beforehand a little bit, but what is the toughest thing for you?
Um, wow. I think that the most difficult thing is time.
Yeah.
The time. Um, I do genuinely love it. Um, I I don't have I don't have small children. My kids are grown, but I have grandbabies. And before I had the store, I saw them every single day.
Right.
Fortunately, they live here in town, so I see them quite often. But I still so time is an issue. I'm grateful that I still love and believe in this, and I believe in my original passion, which is to bring retail to Damascus. And I'm so fortunate that every single day, um, people tell me how grateful they are that the shops at Damascus Electric, which is where we are housed and which I'm part owner of, how grateful they are that we are here, that what an impact our store and our 7 merchants that make up the shops, what an impact they have brought, that we have brought to the town. If it wasn't for that support, then the lack of time would be so much more of a negative.
Right.
So, and that goes back to the personal relationships.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think one of the things I'm pulling from that is you have like a really concise vision and purpose. Like, and I mean, everyone needs to have a purpose if they're starting a business, but it's not always so concise. So I think that's really interesting. You really kind of have it down to a very exact thing, and I think that's really cool. You're obviously very passionate about it. So how do you bring in new customers? Word of mouth, or is it somehow somewhere else?
No, it's because again, the lack of funds and resources. If it wasn't for Facebook, Instagram, sources like you, and word of mouth,
Right.
we would not be here. It's just that simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good guess with about everybody nowadays, just the way the world turns.
Yeah.
So kind of going right into the next question, how has technology helped you in your business? How has it played a role?
We have exactly. It's just exactly what I just said.
Right.
We have one of our merchants here. She's aromatherapist, the best aromatherapist around, but also in her real job, I'd like to say, she is a website designer.
Oh,
And
okay.
she I had a website, but it looked like a 12-year-old did it because because I did it. And she took my words and made it beautiful. And so she uh, reworked my website, the Style Me Sue website, and then she made the Shops of Damascus website. So we have a wonderful website.
Yeah,
Um,
wow, that's awesome.
I am the mastermind and the voice of both the shop's Facebook page and Style Me Sue's Facebook page. And so we keep that up to date. We keep that going. And then I dabble at Instagram. The lighting of this old building is terrible. I take pictures and I take pictures of my clothing and I look at them and I think, oh gosh, I wouldn't want to wear that because the lighting is so bad. But we dabble. We have to. We have to stay current with social media. So
You need to get one of those the one of those backlit lamps, the big lamps that have like a
exactly.
ring of light. Those things are really good.
I probably have enough hours in the day to do what I do, but
Yeah,
you're right, I do, you know. And then before, I keep saying this, but hopefully before Christmas, I'll have an online store just for my higher end items. If I throw
right.
those on there, it should pay for itself just
Yeah,
with that.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Um, so last question. What's the
sure.
best piece of advice you'd give to others about thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, really a business owner or just anything?
I think isn't it the Nike ad? Just do it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
really that. Just do it because you can't wait. I was self-employed before. It was not a store. It was a home party plan. Very successful for about 17 years. And there's nothing like it. You know, you just have to figure out your passion. Don't wait to figure it out because more times than not, it's going to find you. And once you're your own boss, it's hard to go back.
right.
And it'll find you. It's just there's nothing like it. And if the first time that you try it and it doesn't work, just keep looking for it because as I just said, it'll find you. And then surround yourself with great mentors and just keep networking. I hate that word, but it's something you have to do. Just keep talking
Right.
to people and find those couple of people that want to support you and surround yourself with like-minded people and just keep talking to them and stay away from the naysayers because they will suck the life right out of you. And just believe in yourself and know that you can move mountains and just figure it out because I wasn't sure because when I looked for this building, I couldn't even get people that were supposed to be in the business of
Right.
renting retail space to call me back.
To leaving, yeah.
You know, so and here we are almost 2.5 years later and we're thriving and I love. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Love it. And
I got scared for a second there. No, I mean that's fantastic advice. It kind of puts a bow on the interview because then you go all the way back to when you were talking about, leaving your part-time job and just, just going right in. It's so it for the little time we've been talking, it's unsurprising that you gave that answer, but it's really good advice. I mean, just the whole way through. It's fantastic actually. So those are all the questions I have. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna save this recording. I'm gonna find a way to upload it, and I'm also gonna transcribe it.
okay.
When I transcribe it, that's kind of the longer process at this moment, anyways. We're still trying to kind of expedite that and make that faster, but right now that takes a bit. So once I transcribe it, we're gonna get it up on our website, and then once that happens, I will send you an email with the info provided so you can see it.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. So we're gonna keep you in the loop. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed talking today. It was
Well,
awesome.
thanks. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it too. I appreciate the opportunity.